Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we need to check in on Kcorp once again. I know there has been some Kcorp news recently, like the news of Kcorp potentially being interested in Hansama, the news of Kcorp potentially moving on or looking to kick Reckless, with Reckless, starting to talk to some other LEC teams and stuff. But the news for Kcorp for the past couple of weeks has been, hey, they're in talks with Astralis. Hey, they might get into the LEC. Hey, this thing's close, but we really haven't heard much since then. And I'm recording this on September 16th. I'm probably going to be putting this out on September 17th, but we're more than halfway through September. If something's getting done, it's got to happen soon. We have like a little bit over or right around 2 weeks left in September. I don't know exactly how many days there are, but we're right around 2 weeks left in September. And again, this thing isn't going to drag out too much longer because these teams and these orgs and these leagues need to start preparing for the 2023 season. So if you are going to be an LEC team, or if you're not going to be an LEC team, you're going to need to find out very, very soon. So, thankfully for us, again, we didn't get any crazy news. There's nothing breaking. We don't have anything official yet. But what we did get was this. A Twitter, I believe it's called Twitter Spaces, from LEC Wooloo. He said French FAQ. Now, he did this for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, the French fans, the Kcorp fans, they're all wondering about Kcorp right now and what the heck is going on. So, hey, he wants to answer a lot of the French fans' questions. But also, the French fans are such a crazy portion of the European fan base right now. I mean, like, Wooloo could tweet about anything. It doesn't even have to be related to Kcorp at all. And he has so many French fans and so many French replies and all this stuff going on. It's just crazy the numbers that these people come out in. But then, of course, Wooloo speaks French as well. So he does attract a little bit of an additional French fan base and stuff like that. So they did this Twitter space. I'm not exactly sure how long it was. I hopped in for like 5 seconds and then, hey, I replied, hey guys, I can't understand. This got like 10 likes. It was pretty funny. I was just messing around. Obviously, I can read. I can see that it says French FAQ, but I still wanted to hop in, see what was going on, because I like a lot of these people. I like Wooloo. I saw Saji May was in there. I saw Alejandro was in there for a little while, so I just wanted to, say what's up to the boys. But yeah, they were doing this. Wooloo was going on, but luckily for us, we did have somebody translating the whole thing. I saw that Express replied to this, and he said, hey, I'm going to need a translator in my DM with the TLDR of all this. We'll appreciate it as fuck. Alejandro said, hey, I understood 2 words the whole time. It was my name and it was Carmine, which is funny. But here's Express's TLDR. Now, again, Express apparently also does not speak French. So this is somebody translating, telling it to Express, and then Express tweeting about it. So we're playing a little bit of telephone here. There could be some inaccuracies in here. So maybe we have a French speaker. Maybe the translation's different. I don't know. You guys might have to correct some things. But what Express says that Wooloo talked about in this Twitter space, a lot of things going on here. 1, KC deal is not done yet, but everything is in the hands of KC, and they will do the best choice for the structure. Now, what that means pretty much is that, hey, Astralis is offering them the slot to some extent. We don't know if it's like a 60-40 split. We don't know if it's like an 80-20. We don't know if it's 100-0 or what's exactly going on. We also don't necessarily know the price, but it does seem like Astralis has some offer on the table for Kcorp. Kcorp can either accept it or they cannot. And what he means by they will make the best choice for the structure, meaning Kcorp is going to decide what is best for them. Because yes, getting into the LEC would be a big deal, but it's also going to be an expensive deal. And also there is still some people who are expecting the LEC to expand to 12 teams or 14 teams or 15 teams or whatever at some point in the future. So Kcorp has to decide, do we want to pay more to get in sooner, or would we rather stay in the LFL? We're going to be entering Valorant franchising. We now have a really good Rocket League team. Like, Kcorp still has a lot of other great stuff going on besides the LEC. They can save some money now. They can continue building up their fan base, continue building up some of their other esports and stuff, and then still be able to enter the LEC next year or 2025 or whenever the LEC decides to expand, or whenever they can buy a slot for cheaper. They don't have to overpay Astralis or only get 60% of the slot or whatever just to get it right now. They don't have to be in a hurry. Now, again, obviously there's a lot of positives about being in the LEC, especially sooner rather than later, especially if people expect the prices are going to keep increasing. So I don't know. We're going to have to decide. Kcorp's going to have to decide, because obviously Kcorp is still doing very, very well in the LFL. They're still very popular. It's much cheaper. And like I said, they have other esports. And Valorant is going to be a very, very, Valorant already is a pretty big esport, but it's going to continue to grow. It's going to be big. And Kcorp is going to be able to do some things. It's not LEC or bust for Kcorp by any means. It's not 2023 LEC or bust for Kcorp either. They do say that Reckless is probably out of the team. Now, that's pretty crazy. But again, that's not super surprising, because it does sound like if Kcorp does get in the LEC, it sounds like they want Hans Sama, and if they don't get in the LEC, it sounds like Reckless would want to leave anyway because he wants to play in the LEC. So all roads are kind of pointing towards Reckless being out of Kcorp, whether they get in the LEC or don't. If they go to the LEC, there's going to be big names in the org, which, again, isn't a surprise to me. If you're going out and trying to get Hans Sama, you're not going to get freaking Hans Sama and 4 really bad players. Like, if you're getting aggressive on one player, you're going to try and get at least a pretty decent team together, which is very, very exciting. That means if we do get Kcorp in the LEC, it's not going to be a Team BDS. It's not going to be an SK. It's not going to be an Astralis. This is going to be a team that's going to be trying to compete for playoffs and trying to compete for worlds, which, that's cool. We need more of that in these leagues. It doesn't necessarily mean we need people trying to come in and build super teams, but hey, some people being aggressive in the offseason and spending some money and getting some interesting players and rosters together, that's cool. That's good. I'm glad to see that. Right now, the KC deal is similar to the deal with Koi. So that means it probably is like a 60-40 deal with Astralis. I don't know if that also means that Astralis is trying to get in with Kcorp on the Valorant team. I don't know if this would mean that Kcorp would then also be trying to get in with Astralis on their CSGO team. But yeah, this does not, at least according to what Wooloo's saying in this space, or what they're translating it to be, it does not seem to be like 100% of the slot going to Kcorp, or Kcorp just taking over, anything like that. Apparently, Kcorp has a new big sponsor coming in, and I've heard some people say that, hey, this might not be like a sponsor, this might be like a new big investor or something like that coming in, which again could give Kcorp an extra little influx of cash, which could maybe help them get a deal like this done, or could just mean, hey, they have some more money and they're able to do some bigger things in the future. I don't know. He also says 113 might leave, and then people go on to say below, he never said 113 might leave. Somebody said, hey, there's just no news about 113. I don't know. Either way, I don't really think it matters all that much if 113 leaves or stays. If they're in the LFL still, who really cares? And if they make it to the LEC, then 113 would only be on their academy team anyway. 113, I think, is an interesting talent, but he did not have a great year this year. Maybe he'll be good in the future, but like for right now, who really cares that much? LEC teams have a neutral opinion about new org. I don't really know what that means. I don't really think that translates well. That doesn't really sound like great English to me. I don't know what that means in this context. About LEC extensions, they will arrive at some point, but really unsure if it'll be next year. Again, this also isn't great English. I really don't know what the heck he's saying here. Is he talking about LEC expansion? I don't know. I don't think so, because he actually goes on to talk about LEC expansion for a little bit. I don't know what LEC extensions is. That doesn't make any sense to me. Some of this is going over my head as a native English speaker. No new info on VTO right now. A few teams are in contact with Reckless, but nothing big for right now. But hey, there are a few teams at least reaching out. There are a few teams interested. I wish we could hear if it was LEC, LCS, both, whatever. Obviously, I think LEC is much more likely, but I wonder what's going on there. But I am happy to hear that, yeah, at least some teams are interested in Reckless, even though it doesn't seem like anyone's all that interested right now. Hey, it's still September. There's still a long way to go in terms of the offseason. Hans is not on KC yet. Not surprising. Again, if they don't even know if they're in the LEC yet or not. I'm not surprised they don't have Hansama done yet. 2024 new slots. Again, here he is talking about expansion. So that's why I don't think the extensions meant expansion. But again, if they are going to expand the LEC in 2024, that means it's going to be easier to get in, especially if you are a Kcorp who knows you are going to be favored to be one of those 2 extra teams getting in. That would make you less incentivized to overpay for the slot right now, or to pay for only 60% of a slot, when if you just waited one more year, you could get 100% of a slot, and probably for less money too. So that's something to keep this factored all in. And then KC and Astralis have been at the same point of their negotiations for the past 3 weeks, meaning that Astralis has had whatever offer, Kcorp has not accepted it, and they've kind of been at a standstill for the past 3 weeks. Things have not gotten better. Things have not gotten worse either, though. But that's why we haven't gotten any new big news or new big updates, because it sounds like, at least according to Wooloo in this space, that the negotiations are not progressing. Like the two sides are at a standstill. They're waiting. So it seems like they're kind of just playing chicken right now. Astralis is like, hey, this is our offer. We don't care. We'll stay in the LEC this year. You can either pay for it or don't. And Kcorp's like, no, it's fine. You can either lower your offer or, enjoy your spot and we'll just get in the LEC next year. And they're both like, okay, fine. We'll see. Hey, offer's still on the table though if you want to come back. So who knows? Right now, that is the latest. I don't think that's a great sign for Kcorp. Again, if the negotiations aren't getting better, we're on a little bit of a timeline here. Kcorp might have to either meet Astralis' needs or just, wait it out. And at this point, I think it's even getting more and more likely that it is possible that Kcorp could not end up in the LEC in 2023 and maybe look to get in 2024 through expansion or something like that. And in some ways, that might even be the best decision for Kcorp. I don't know. But this is going to be a huge story because obviously this not only affects Kcorp, it affects Reckless, Hansama, all these other players. And then those are just dominoes to the whole thing that's going to affect even more teams, players, all that stuff. I want to see Kcorp in the LEC as much as anybody else, but I also understand the business side where it might not make total sense for it to happen right now, but we'll have to wait and see. But at least at this time, it doesn't seem bad for Kcorp. It's not the end of the world, but the negotiations don't seem to be improving. We don't seem to be getting closer to having Kcorp in the LEC. And again, it's September 17th. We're getting closer and closer to a decision needing to be made soon. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's all the latest that we got from Wooloo today out in the Twitter world, at least with this French FAQ that they put on. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Somebody drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.